Sports, a Garden City restaurant owner says he was wrongfully kicked out of his rented restaurant space, and he's been unable to retrieve his equipment worth tens of thousands of dollars, which remain inside. Aspen Shumpert is live outside the Boardwalk Apartments in Garden City, where the restaurant was operating out of one of their retail spaces. So, Aspen, what do we know so far?
Brian, the owner of Bowboy, Frank Jordan, said he thought this lease was the dream lease, but when he signed it a year ago, it hasn't quite since been going as planned. He said that all came to a head in the last few weeks, leading to a lockout and a legal fight.
It's been a lot of emotions, a lot of resentments, anger, frustration.
Typically, on a day like today, Frank Jordan, the chef and owner of Bowboy, would be in the kitchen.
We specialize in Japanese curry and steam buns, which we make fresh in-house.
But instead, he says he's unable to serve the community and locked out of his kitchen, which is one of 6 retail spaces at the Boardwalk Apartments in Garden City, an opportunity Jordan jumped at in 2024.
Open up a full service, serve beer and wine, create a more warming experience. Boardwalk seemed like a really good opportunity, beautiful spot.
But he says after signing the 5-year lease, there were multiple setbacks, including a 5-month delay in the Boardwalk allowing the retail spaces to open.
It went from June 20th to July 20th to hopefully the first part of August to now we're looking at maybe like October, and then we finally opened in November 15th in the cold of winter. After having staff hired since June.
He says throughout this first year of business, there were several inconsistencies causing disagreements between Bowboy and the Boardwalk management, including common area fees.
The CAM charges recently almost over doubled.
Or window cleaning fees, Jordan says, were never discussed in the original agreement. To Jordan's surprise, on October 21st, he says management suddenly locked him out of his space, terminating his lease. He says they won't let him in to gather his equipment he estimates to be worth $100,000.
Everything from the sandwich top to my steamer to the range to the coolers. I mean, we need to get that stuff back.
Jordan's lawyer sent the Boardwalk management a letter on November 4th alleging the termination was done without due process and violated Idaho law, which says landlords must go through the court system to evict a tenant.
I wasn't evicted, I was illegally forced out.
In the letter, his lawyers say Jordan is losing $1,000 each day the restaurant is closed, totaling now over $20,000 in lost income and $5,000 in food that has now gone bad.
A lot of the products, too, that we use, they come from Japan, and they're imported directly.
When asked if management gave him reasoning for terminating the lease, Jordan says in a letter sent to him after he was locked out, it mentioned a disagreement Jordan and management had about a recent complaint from someone living above the Bowboy space, saying that the hood vent was too loud.
I've always kind of just been a critic. I've spoke my mind if I felt like something wasn't fair or if it wasn't right. I've said it, and I've stated my beliefs.
Management told Jordan he could only run his hood vent, an appliance that hangs over the stove to remove smoke and steam, during certain hours. But Jordan pushed back, saying they cook 24 hours a day.
I have to run that fan to cook the food because some of the techniques that we do, like our sous vide pork belly, goes for 12 hours.
He speculates the termination of the lease is in retaliation to pushing back on things, rather than management having a valid reason to terminate his lease.
It's not fair what happened. And I feel like a situation like this extreme situation where I was illegally locked out and forced out, people just need to know about it.
His lawyers demanded possession of the property within days of sending that letter and said if they weren't granted that, they would be moving forward with a lawsuit. Jordan says his attorneys are drafting that now since they are still locked out. Moving forward, Bowboy hopes to move into West End Kitchens, which is a ghost kitchen concept in Boise's West End. They hope to be in there in a few weeks. We did reach Boardwalk managers today after trying to reach them several times over the last week. They are working to respond to the allegations, Brian, but we have not seen those comments yet.
Evicted because the hood vent was too loud. All right, thank you very much, Aspen.